When I was performing in Bay Ridge when I was younger, I had a Billy Joel tribute band, and I love Billy Joel. I think that Billy is the greatest songwriter. I mean, he is a great singer. He doesn't consider himself a singer. I mean, as a piano player, oh my God, he's amazing. But as a songwriter, I mean, I put him up there with Gershwin, Cole Porter, all the greats. I mean, he really is one of the greatest songwriters that has ever lived. He's a genius. He's Billy Joel's a genius songwriter, and I personally think he's an amazing singer. But I kind of feel like, what's funny is like me and Billy. What's funny is that I don't consider myself a singer, and I think I'm a pretty good piano player. I think I'm an excellent piano player. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've played with some of the most amazing musicians, and I was able to hang with them. You know what I mean? Like when I was in high school, there was this program. It was called the New York City All City Jazz Band. And what happens is they only picked one person. One person, that's it. You had the opportunity to perform at Carnegie Hall Lincoln Center. 500 people auditioned. 500 piano players from all over New York, every high school. I was the one who won. They picked me, and I did perform in Carnegie Hall Lincoln Center, and I was performing with the greatest young jazz musicians in New York City. It was an amazing time of my life. As a piano player, I think I'm pretty awesome. I have to admit the truth to you, but singing, I'm not a good singer. I do it for fun. I do it for fun. I have a lot of problems because I eat a lot, and I have the acid reflux, and sometimes my voice cracks, and I have bad sinuses, and ever since I was a kid, like one time I was with my girlfriend, not Jennifer. This was my first girlfriend who broke my heart. We went out for 5 years, Jackie, and this psychopathic Lexus passed a red light and crashed into us. So we had a lawsuit, and we were young at the time. And what happened was I went to go get an MRI of my brain because, as part of, my lawyer said, just be on the safe side, make sure you don't have any damage. So my brain was okay, but the doctor noticed that my sinuses were insane. Like he said, man, I've never seen a person with this much sinus problems. Like I guess I was all congested, mucus and shit. And still to this day. So I have like the worst two things that as a singer, you don't want. You don't want to have bad sinuses and acid reflux. It's especially the acid reflux. It messes with your vocal cords. I try sometimes to hit high. See, I actually was able when I was younger to hit some pretty high notes, man. Like I was a baritone, because I spoke to a lot of vocal teachers, and I was up there. I was almost a tenor, like I was a baritone, but now as I've gotten older in my life, I'm a bass. I'm not even a baritone anymore, man. I could only go up so far with my vocal range, but I enjoy singing. I know I'm not so good at it, but I don't know, for some reason, I have fun with it. I just have a lot of fun singing. I used to only do jazz gigs. Like when I was playing in the Old City Jazz Band, I used to go out with my buddy Joey from Brooklyn, and we had this great bass player. I think his name was Rob. He had the big acoustic, bass, and we had a trio. It was just jazz, instrumental music, and we used to play all over Manhattan, every restaurant, jazz club. And I remember we were in this like Mediterranean restaurant. I can't remember the name of it. This was years ago, and I'm playing jazz. It's like nobody was paying attention to me. It was like all the people in the restaurant, every time we finished the song, no one applauded. No one gave me a tip. I had this big, huge tip jar. It was empty. We were playing like all the jazz standard songs, and I just flipped out. So what happened was my friend Joey and the bass player went to the bar, and they just got a couple of drinks. They took a break. So I decided to sing. Now, I never did this before. I didn't even have a microphone, but it was like one of those small restaurants where, see, I have a very powerful voice, so I don't even need a microphone. My voice, it was so small of a restaurant that if I had a microphone, I probably would have blew out the roof or something, So I started to sing Piano Man. Let me clear my throat. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, everybody starts paying attention to me. I noticed that people start looking at me. People started to sit by me because there was some chairs by the bar. And all of a sudden, people were putting money. They were tipping me. And I was just like blown away. I was like, wow. And that's how I kind of decided. I was like, I think I'm going to start singing, that's it. And my buddy Joey, he's all about jazz, he's the drummer. And for years, he'd always tell me, Richie, forget about singing, man. Just, he used to tell me, Rich, you're never going to be as good of a singer as you are as a piano player. He goes, I'm sorry to break it to you. He goes, you're just an average singer, man, He goes, but you are an above average piano player. He goes, you're like top level, man. He goes, stick to what you know best. He's probably right, but I enjoy singing. So you know what? I'm going to keep singing. I don't care, But, I do show off my piano skills. Like, if you ever get a chance, check out this thing. It's called Brooklyn Funk, okay? Type in Richie Lavoie, my last name. L as in Larry, E as in Edward, V as in Victor, O as in Oreo, I as in Idaho. Richie, and my last name, Lavoie, Levoi, Brooklyn Funk. I don't know if you would have to put in the bitter end. I was performing at the bitter end. This was in the Village of Manhattan. And this was an instrumental jazz song that I wrote. I actually wrote this song. It's instrumental, but I wrote it. It's an original composition. And you'll see my chops as a piano player, where, we had a 4-piece band, guitar, bass, drums, and piano. And each one of us took a solo. And it's a really funky, groovy song. I wrote another song for Brooklyn, the Brooklyn song. I'm actually trying to get that song known and famous, and I would really appreciate it if anybody could, if you have the time, could check out that song. Again, you'd have to put in Richie Lavoie, which is Levoi, and type in the Brooklyn song. Now, I'm singing on this song. This song is all about my hometown, growing up in Brooklyn in the 70s and the 80s. And it's all about food, all the best restaurants in Brooklyn, L&B, Spumoni Gardens, John's Deli. You'll really like it. And if you could, write a comment, I'd appreciate it. Actually, I would rather you listen to that song than Brooklyn Funk, Brooklyn Funk is, don't get me wrong, it's a great song, and it shows off my piano chops. But the song I'm really trying to get out there and get known is the Brooklyn song. I was actually in Brooklyn Magazine. It's like a very famous magazine in Brooklyn. And they actually wrote an article about the song saying they considered it to be the best song ever written about Brooklyn. I was like, wow, I really thought I was going to make it with that one. But, I haven't, unfortunately, got the song famous yet. But I'm working on it.